Ever heard about jiggers?
The problem of jiggers is as old as history. In Kenya, about 2 million people are infested with jiggers, especially among the poor people living in the remotest villages. In the heart of Kapretwa village, nestled within the vibrant landscapes of Saboti constituency in Trans Nzoia County, a silent menace has plagued the lives of its residents for generations. Welcome to a journey into the hidden corners of Kapretwa village, where a tiny creature, often overlooked, has left an erasable mark on the lives of the villagers.
I was even one of the victims of people that were affected by jiggers.
Jiggers, also known as sand fleas, are parasitic insects that cause the condition known as tungiasis. These tiny fleas belong to the species Tunga penetrans and are commonly found in warm tropical climates. The female jigger flea burrows into the skin of its host, usually targeting areas with thinner skin, such as the sole of the feet, toes, and hands of both adults and children. Today, we invite you to explore the haunting presence of jiggers, a parasitic menace that penetrates the very fabric of this close-knit community. Join us as we delve into the lives of those affected, the challenges they face, and the resilience, strength, and hope that binds them together in their fight against an unseen adversary. This is the story of Kapretwa, a village battling against the odds, where the smallest of creatures leaves the biggest impact. Welcome to ShackLes of Jiggers. Kapretwa village has a very fertile soil, stretching as far as the eye can see, which helps the people to do a lot of farming activities. The same fertile soil harbors the tiny but tenacious jigger flea.
Precisely, jiggers is very harmful, very detrimental, very malignant, and very poignant because it affects people's feet, both children and the grown-ups. Jiggers is actually very, very common in dusty areas. Alongside this region of Saboti, Trans Nzoia, the area is full of humus. The soils are very fertile. And you have got seasons when jiggers becomes more and full of commonality, especially the months of February extending to May.
How was jiggers discovered in Kapretwa village?
The problem of jigger in Kapretwa village, we came to discover about it through Yuya village, which is a neighboring village to our facility. Our clients come from there. So in the year 2019, we were carrying on a school health program in Yuya schools. So we came across children with jigger. And tracing back what was the cause of this jigger, they would say during holidays, their original families are in Saboti in Kapretwa village. So we tried to treat the jiggers in Yuya starting the year 2019, but it was recurring and recurring. So we had to go to the grassroots where it is coming from, which was Kapretwa. That's how we discovered about it. And reaching Kapretwa, it was worse. So we continued with the program there.
From my village where I came, there were jiggers like water. So I surprised, and then I take myself and my chance walking house to house. I mobilized, and then I started removing jiggers. While I was afraid a bit kidogo, but I keep my heart to work. So I found some old mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers. They just calling me, come and help us.
Jigger infestation persists at Kapretua Primary and Junior Secondary School in the suburb of Saboti constituency.
Yeah, there are many cases indeed. Yeah, you know, this area is found on the slope of Mount Elgon, and the soil is volcanic, which is a good breeding ground for fleas. So you find that many learners in my school, they have that major problem of jiggers, particularly when it is dry season. You know, there's a lot of dust and the environment is not suitable. It's a good breeding ground for jiggers. So you find that in the months of January to March, many of them are much affected by jiggers.
Mr. James maintained that the presence of too much dust, especially during the dry season, is the cause of jiggers. Could that be the main cause of jiggers in this village?
The main cause is the poor hygiene. When you go to that village and see the living condition, the dirtiness of the house, the children, actually themselves, they say the main problem, if you really face them, the first time they will say it is witchcraft. But if you go deep and sit them down and ask them, really this thing, you see it is the living condition. Water is the main problem in that place. The people take long distances to fetch water. There is no water, so the children will tell you they have taken 2 weeks without having their bath.
Okay, water cannot be really the key factor that influences it, because poverty is the main one. You know, if somebody is not able to buy even a bar of soap, then you don't expect that person to be taking bath every day. But water is, I don't think, is a really major problem, because if somebody is not used to taking bath, it becomes difficult. But the most key factor here, the highest key factor, is poverty.
Sina mzee, mzee alikufa. Niko tu mchana hapa, mzee alikufa, kijana akakufa, msichana akakufa, wakaniachia watoto. Sasa niko tu kwa shida kubwa sana. Wachukutu, sina mtoto, wachukutu peke yake. Kukula ni shida, kusoma ni shida. Dawa sasa imepunguka, hakuna. Mnisaidie kwa njia tu yoyote.
Nasikia msima, alafu yenye mimi nahitaji chakula.
What challenges does jigger pose to the people of Kapretua? Mr. Richard, who is the head teacher of Kapretua Primary and Junior Secondary School, said,
Those ones affected, their concentration span in class is not up to date, because much of their attention is put on the side of the affected jiggers, right? So they are most of the time they look frustrated. Even when you look at their bodies, they look as if they lack something in their bodies. They are not very okay.
So the major challenge here is that because most of the learners are suffering from, that are infested by jiggers, particularly those periods, so we tend to have a lot of learners being absent from school, and they also suffer from self-esteem. Why? Because they are stigmatized, because others laugh at those ones who are infested by jiggers because of their mobility. They have a challenge of moving. So during sports they cannot participate comfortably because of the problem.
Yeah, we had a lot of challenges before. There are some that we used to believe that this jigger is bad to earth, and they have come to believe that it is cultural thing. So to reach them, they will just lock their houses and disappear. They don't want you to come there. Especially during COVID time, the way we'll be coming and covering ourselves. So they say, we have brought COVID for them. Instead of thinking that we have come to help them to remove Jigga. And others, they will now stigmatize the family. So when they see you going there, others will be there, oh, that family has Jigga. There's people, the doctors came there to remove from them. So that stigmatization makes people to hide away. So they will not even get help. Another thing was the poor roads going there. It was not easy until we had to get the double cabin, 4-wheel, which had helped us. So those were some of the challenges, and also the problem of lack of water, especially during dry season, even when we are washing the legs of people. This water is a serious problem. Even to go and ask somebody, give me 10 liters, it is a problem. So we had to start now looking for water. Water is a serious problem in that place. Those are some of the challenges we face.
What has been done in responding to the plight of the people, especially those affected with jiggers?
So at the school level, we have not done much because we lack the necessary resources and skills to combat the jiggers in the school. But we thank God in the year 2019, the Holy Rosary came over here. They introduced the program of jiggers campaign in the school. To some extent, it has helped us in a very, very big way in reducing or in mitigating the jiggers menace in our school.
Since the year 2020, and then we went 2021, and then 2022. For 3 years we have been there.
Okay.
And we have been treating the jigger from the house. We will spray the house, remove everything in the house and spray it, then embark on the removal and then treatment. Yeah, that's what we have been doing.
We as a government, we have tried up and down to ensuring that our village elders and even the Nyumba Kumi as the units, we stretch, in fact, a degree of intimacy through the CHVs, creating awareness that after a short period, we visit those areas where jiggers has been rampant. Cleaning should be embraced. And as you know, our ministry is full of obedience and compliance because persons have to be free. Secondly, it can end up distorting some healthy or creating some healthy hazards. So counteracting these jiggers has brought people to come to improve their life standard, because we have to take some drugs, spraying their homes, spraying the floors, and also feasting them regularly has enabled the community to improve the education standards. Initially, it was very problematic. Even a child going to school becomes very severe, especially during the rain seasons, because one cannot step in the dew when jiggers is there.
We have our officers, we have public health officers working in the community, we have community assistants, then we have these community health promoters who visit every home at least once in a week. So those are the people we normally use to educate families about the negative impact these jiggers can cause to their families. Again, we usually give them chemicals if we have as a ministry. If we have chemicals, we supply with them. They use them in the treatment of the jiggers. But if we don't have, we only educate my family members to purchase the cheapest one. Yeah.
With the interventions from different non-governmental organizations, at least some of the people are now adhering to healthy practices.
Some of the people have learned, because we don't only remove for them and leave them there. We will teach them in their way. There are those pins which they can easily access. We teach them, as soon as you feel something itching you, that is jigger, remove it immediately. And I don't know, they can't access those drugs to pour. So we told them to use kerosene, the kerosene they use for their small lamps. After removing the jigger, pour that kerosene, wash your leg. always keep your legs clean and fingers. You'll be able to notice that there is something strange when your fingers are clean, when your leg is clean. But if it is always with mud, you will not be able to realize what. So we teach them how to stay clean.
But the problem of jiggers seems to still persist. What has the government done to combat this problem?
Our government have not done anything about the jiggers, and hawajawahi kuja hata mpaka huku mashinani wakaona, kwa sababu ukiwa kama huko kule kwa ofisi na ukuje mpaka mashinani chini hapa kwa community, let me say but kwa hii village ujione, ukitoka hapa utakuwa na solution, but some of them wanawaka kule juu, lakini pale hapa kwa community huwa hawawaki sana, mtu hakuja aone the main problem in our community is what. Mtu ataulizia tu huko lakini hapaki huko. Sasa tunasema kama ni vizuri wakuje mpaka kwa community to help the community.
Mr. James advocated for shoes to be provided for the children in schools as a way of combating the problem.
I find that sometimes learners they tend to underperform because of being absent from school because of the challenge. So that's my major request. Another request is that if they could be provided with shoes. You'll find that most of the learners from their background, they cannot afford to buy a pair of shoes. So if we could get other stakeholders or partners who can come and partner with our school, they'll help us greatly, because once these learners are empowered, they know how to combat the challenge. I'm very sure in the coming years this will be a history. It will no longer be there.
In an interview with the chief of Saboti constituency, he indicated that government has provided shoes for all the children in school.
The government has also ensured that every school-going child has actually to put on shoes. You know, initially, they used to go barefooted, but that can actually be very hectic. So shoes is also of help when it comes to counteracting jiggers.
But in Capretra Primary and Junior Secondary School, this is the reality. How can shoes be provided for the children?
It is the head of the school to take an initiative and see a public health officer of that area. Then they make arrangements on how the school will be assisted. So it is something that we need to address. When we have meetings, we address such issues.
What are we imploring the government to do in order to mitigate the problem of jiggers in Capretra village?
Nitasema ya kwamba waweze kuleta dawa ikuwe mingi, kwa sababu saa zingine hata imekuanga hospitali wakati mnaenda mnarifaa mgonjwa wa jiggers inapatikana haiko dawa. Mmeenda labda umejisacrifice unataka kusaidia huyu mtu wa community, lakini wakati umepata dawa hakuna, hautamsaidia, utamwambia tu mama mtoe, lakini dawa haiko. Sasa ni vizuri pia government iwe ikisaidia, ina support hizo dawa sikuwe mingi, na sikikuwa mingi pale kwa facility itafikia pia community na itasaidia. Na pia tunasema na wale partners wenye wako karibu pia waweze kusaidia community.
I request our county government of Trans to make a quick intervention because this being one of the most popular school in the county. So you'll find that if it comes in handy to support the school in mitigation of the jiggers in the school, they'll have helped us a great deal because these are the future leaders of this country, and we don't nurture them very well, and if they drop out of school, the rate of crime will be very high in this area.
We are praying that the government itself, the government of the area, because the government puts money into a lot of programs, especially vaccination of children, seeing that the children are well. Forgetting there is also something else affecting the children, which is this jigger. What we would like to say is that the government will also get interest, as it is interested in the vaccination of children, to see that they are growing up healthy. They should also look at this jigger, how it is affecting the children.
As the sun sets over Capretra village, casting a warm glow upon the fields. We live with a profound appreciation for the human spirit's ability to endure the shackles of jiggers. As we bid farewell to this resilient village, we carry with us the echoes of their journey, a journey that reminds us all that within every challenge there lies the potential for triumph and transformation. This should also echo in the minds of the government so that there will be a lasting solution to this problem.